So I'm in the Khan Academy Algebra 1 class. In Unit 14, quadratic functions and equations. So I'll go down and graph. I'm going to do graph quadratics in factored form. So take a look. It's 4 questions. All right. So graph quadratics in factored form. Scroll down a bit. All right. So let's take a look. All right. So looking at this question, it says graph the equation. So we have a function here. It says y equals 1/8 times x minus 6 times x plus 2. So it's going to be a quadratic function. When we multiply the x times the x, it's going to give us an x squared. So it's going to be in the shape of a parabola, and the graph here lets us move it like a parabola, so works out really well. With this form, so it's actually really easy to find the x-intercepts. So the x-intercepts are the points. So I'll draw them on the graph. I don't know where they're going to be. Actually, let's just figure out where they're going to be, and then we'll put them there. So this one, x minus 6 is one of the factors. And this is going to give us an intercept, and we'll tell us why later, but it's going to give us an intercept of positive 6. So it's going to be the opposite of the sign that you see, positive 6. So this one will be negative 2. So why can I put these points here? So the reason you can put the points here is the y value of these blue points is 0. Y equals 0. So what that means is that when I plug in x, the y value that I'm going to get is 0. When I plug in 6, that's going to be true. And when I plug in negative 2, that's going to be true. I can see that in the equation because in the equation up here, one of the pieces is x minus 6. So if I put in the number 6, that's going to give me 6 minus 6, which is 0. So I'm going to multiply. It doesn't matter what this is. It doesn't matter what this is. It's going to be multiplied by 0, so the whole thing is going to be equal 0. So when x is 6, y is 0. That's why one of the points is here, 6, 0. When x is 6, y is 0. That's one of the coordinates. And then also, you can look at the other factor. So when x is negative 2, so that's this point here. When x is negative 2, y is going to be 0. So if I plug in negative 2 for x, y is going to be 0. So I know for a fact, at least, that these two blue points are on my graph. So with the way that the Khan Academy question kind of works, if I can find the vertex, I can place that. So what I'm going to do is, it's kind of, so if you look at the hints, this is kind of the way that they're doing these questions. So when you place the x-intercepts, what you know is that the axis of symmetry, or the line that's going, here, let's get a line, the line that goes directly up and down through the middle of a parabola, this is the axis of symmetry, it's always going to be halfway in between the x-intercepts. It's always going to be halfway in between the x-intercepts. So if I kind of use the x-intercepts here, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the distance is 8. So I know that the middle of the parabola is going to be where x equals 2. So it's going to be somewhere on this red line. And I don't know the height of it. I don't know how high it's going to be or how low it's going to be. And it could be going up, right? Because if the y value is negative, it's going to be like this. If the y value is positive, it's going to be like this. So what I'm going to do is I need to figure out what the y value is. So if I know that the x value is 2, I can plug in 2 for x into the equation here and see what I get. So let's do that. So you got 1/8 times x minus 6. So if x is 2, 2 minus 6 is what I have, and 2 minus 6 is negative 4. And then it's multiplied by x plus 2. If x is 2, then this is 2 plus 2, which is 4, positive 4. So again, it's 1/8 times x plus 6. X is 2, so we're replacing this with 2. I won't do this for every question. And replacing this x with 2 as well. So this is 2 minus 6, which is negative 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. So this turns out to be 1/8 times negative 16 times negative 16. And that's going to give us negative 16 over 8. You use a calculator, that's negative 2. Negative 16 divided by 8. Negative 16 and 8 equal groups is negative 2. Okay, so it's going to give us negative 2 as an output. That's our y value. So the x value was positive 2, the y value is negative 2. So the vertex of this parabola is at the point 2, negative 2. I know that it's going to be the vertex because it's at the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry always is where the vertex is in a parabola. That's just the way the quadratic functions work. So let's try it. Very nice. All right, let's erase all of this. All right, so look at this one. All right, it says g of x, so the function g of x, previously it said y. It's the same thing as y. Y equals 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 6. So looking at the way that the function is written, I know that I can plug in -2. That's a terrible line. I know that I can plug in -2 and -6. If those are my x values, if -2 is an x value, the y value is 0. And if -6 is an x value, the y value is 0. So I know that these are 2 points that are on this quadratic graph. Like these are 2 points on the graph, 2 points that are on the function. So if I'm trying to place those points, right, like -6, -2, -2, -6. So let's draw this. So the distance is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the vertex is here at -4. So I know that the x value of the vertex is -4. And now if I plug that in, I can figure out what the y value is. So I'm going to plug in -4, right, for x. So this is going to be 2 times -4 plus 2 is -2. -4 plus 6 is 2. Oh my goodness. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And this comes out negative, so it's -8. -8. So the input was -4, the output was -8. So I'm going to go all the way down here, -8. And my intercepts are -2 and -6. I know that those are both points on the graph because if I put in those x values, the y value is going to be 0. So I know that those are 2 points on the graph. All right, next question. All right, so it looks like I have intercepts of +2. So if I plug in 2, I'll get 0, and then -6. So between 2, so let's just kind of circle them, 2, or I'll put them here, 2, and -6. So what is the distance? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the midway would be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be at -2. So the axis of symmetry is at -2. The x value of the vertex is at -2. So let's find the y value. So I'm going to plug in -2 for x. So it's going to be -1/4 times, it says x minus 2. So what's -2 minus 2 is -4. And then x plus 6. So what's -2 plus 6 is 4. So they're literally, it's coming out the same every time. That's fine. I'm not upset. So it's -1/4 times -16. This will come out positive. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So the output is 4. So the input is -2. The output is 4. So this will be the vertex of my graph, and the intercepts are -2 and -6. So I can place it at -2, or I can place it at -6, and it's just going to kind of match up because it's going to be perfectly symmetric on either side. All right, so hopefully that works out. Very nice. All right, last one. All right, so -2/3, x plus 1. So -1 will work as a, let's get this here. -1 will work as an x-intercept, and +5. Those are the x values I could plug in that will give me 0 here and 0 here, and that will give me 0 for the whole thing. So let's put those somewhere. So let's say 5, and then -1. Okay, so it looks like just kind of moving this around, it looks like the middle is 2. And we can draw that as well. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the halfway point is 3. So 1, 2, 3, that's 2. So the x value is 2. And the y value is orange. So we're going to have 2. So it's going to be -2/3 times 2 plus 1, which is 3. And then is this going to go back to -3? 2 minus 5 is -3. Yes, -3. So this is negative 2/3 times -9. It's going to come out positive. It's going to be 18 over 3, which is 6. So the input is 2, output is 6. X-intercepts are 5 and -1, so it looks like we've got it all here. Looks very nice. And we got it. All right, so have fun with this, and hopefully this helps you out.